Welcome to the Fusion and Futures Academy College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around the entire session to answer questions. My name is Anna, and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/fusion. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from University of the Ozarks Jones Learning Center. Take it away.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Vanessa Hollowell, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Jones Learning Center here at the University of the Ozarks. University of the Ozarks is located in Clarksville, Arkansas, which is right in the heart of the Ozark Mountains. We are a private liberal arts university. We have about a student population of 900, and we follow the LENS program, meaning that each of our students will graduate with a major and 2 minors from a wide variety of areas. We want students to be very well-rounded, so they'll have a major or minor in humanities and fine arts, social sciences, and math and science focus. So I work in the Jones Learning Center. I'm not a recruiter, so our recruiter actually had a baby and he's unable to be here tonight. So that's why I'm here. But I work in the Jones Learning Center, and we are an academic support program, fee-based, that provide intensive comprehensive supports for students with learning disabilities. Specifically, we work with students that are on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, those with dyslexia, and those that have ADHD. We're not limited to those, but those are the ones that we focus on primarily. Within that fee-based program, we provide a coordinator, and that's an academic coordinator. She works with students one-to-one every day for about 30 minutes on time management, study skills, facilitating conversations between the student and the professor. Each student in our program receives a tutor for every one of their classes. They typically meet 2 hours a week. The tutors are trained and understand what a learning disability is and how students learn differently. Students also receive digital notes for every one of their classes. They have access to 2 professional writing assistants. So University of the Ozarks is a writing intensive university, and students with learning disabilities often have or struggle with the writing processes. So we have 2 professional writing assistants. We also have 2 peer lab writing groups in the evenings that students can attend. In addition, we have a autism spectrum coordinator. She does work with students on the spectrum, but she also works with any student that struggles socially. And so the academic coordinator will really work with academics and focus on that side of the student. And then our ASD coordinator, she focuses on everything social, including how to think socially. She does lots of programming to include those students and to help them navigate the college environment. So our students are working towards a degree like every other student here at the university. We don't do modified plans of study. We're not receiving a certificate. It's a bachelor's of science or a bachelor's of art at the end of the 4 or the 5 years. It does take our students sometimes longer. We understand that a 15-hour semester can pose a challenge for students that learn and think differently. So many times our students take 12 hours or 4 classes a semester and then lengthen that out to 5 years. And so we really want students to have individualized support. So that coordinator is going to learn the students' needs, their strengths, help support those weaknesses. And that's where that relationship develops. So the student learns to trust that coordinator, and the coordinator learns the student. And so we really tailor the support that the student receives based on their needs. We also provide testing accommodations. So our students receive double time. They can ask for monitored exams. So we have an actual testing center where they can come in and have a private, quiet environment to take their test on their own. Or we can provide a person to read and take dictation from a student. We find that many of our students struggle with that part of an exam, especially those with dyslexia. It's really hard to read quickly to get through an exam, or to take, if you have dysgraphia, to write out information. Professors are really good. If the student wants to type it out, they can, or our staff can take dictation for the exam. And so again, we like to support students. We want to see them be academically successful. We want them to be able to succeed and be able to have employment after graduation, go to graduate school if they want to. We are really trying to build their skills for that next step after a college degree, after their college experience. And I think I'm ready.
All right, thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from Southwestern University.
Alrighty, hi, let me share my screen. So hi everyone, my name is Felicia Greathouse. I am an admissions counselor at Southwestern University. I'm excited to be here, so let's get started. So we're going to start off with some fast facts. Southwestern is a small liberal arts college of about 1,500 students, and our small size is intentional because we have an average class size of 16 and a student faculty ratio of 12:1. Students are more easily able to connect with their professors, ask a ton of questions, have more meaningful discussions. You'll never be in a lecture hall of hundreds of students, always be a classroom where you're more than just a number. Professors at our school really do care about the success of our students, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. We're also located in Georgetown, Texas, which is just a short 20-minute drive to Austin, where there's a lot of fun to be had, museums, cultural events, music festivals, but also plenty of opportunities for professional development with internships. And like I said, we are located in Georgetown, Texas, which is a small, charming city that has a lot to offer. We have great hiking and biking trails, so plenty of opportunities for students to get outside and get active, and we're also close to Lake Georgetown. At Southwestern, we do offer a flexible learning curriculum, and this is through our thirds model. So 1/3 of your education will be for your major, 1/3 will be for general education, and 1/3 will be for electives. And we do this because we want students to explore. Their education is meant to be expansive, not linear. And so while some students come in knowing exactly what they want to major in, exactly what they want to be when they grow up, we know that's not the case for everyone. And so our flexible learning curriculum allows students to figure it out, find new passions, and still graduate on time. Our educational philosophy at Southwestern is known as paideia, and it is a Greek word meaning a well-versed person in the arts, humanities, social, and natural sciences. Paideia is all about making connections across disciplines and across life experiences outside of the classroom. And this is just a visual representation of that. So you can be a biology major and have general education classes in philosophy, art, history. You can have some high impact learning experiences like study abroad or research. Students will be able to make connections across these, but more importantly, they'll be able to articulate why they're important, especially to future employers. So at Southwestern, we work hard, but we also play hard. We have over 100 student organizations that students can be part of, ranging from special interest groups to religious groups. We also have theater, choir, and ensemble like jazz band and orchestra. We're also a Division III school. We have 10 men's, 10 women's sports. But if Division III isn't your thing, we do have 24 intramural sports, some classics like volleyball and basketball, some fun ones like blackleg dodgeball and pickleball. We also have 10 national sororities and fraternities. And we found that students who are involved in student life activities at Southwestern are typically more successful. While your educational foundation is super important, so are the skills that are going to help land you a job after you graduate, such as leadership skills, conflict resolution, adaptability, and those are all skills you can develop through these activities. So how to apply, we try to make it as easy as possible for you. We do have 4 different platforms that you can choose from. So choose whichever one makes the most sense for you. We also have 3 different deadlines, as you can see on the right, but you can learn more about the application process and our required materials on our website. And so this is just a reference for you of where the last class we admitted fell with their test scores and their rank. I don't want this to deter you. At Southwestern, we do have a holistic review process. We know numbers don't tell the whole story. So this is just to give you an idea, but we look at all parts of your application, and we also look at non-traditional schooling and journeys, but this is just to give you an idea. So this is representative of the middle 50%. We do have 25% of students who score above this, 25% of students who score below this. And so this is the cost of attendance for Southwestern. And this number does include both direct and indirect costs. So direct costs being tuition, room and board, vehicle registration if you bring a vehicle, but it also includes indirect costs such as, decorations for your residence hall or going out to the movies on the weekend. But the good news is 99% of our students do receive some type of financial aid, so you'll never be paying that full amount. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So when you apply, you're automatically going to be considered for merit-based scholarships. There's nothing extra you have to do. We'll automatically consider you for them. And we will look at your recalculated GPA or your class rank, and we'll put you in that range. And again, we have a holistic review process. So depending on all the parts of your application, we'll determine what number you actually get in that range. We do have a 90% of our students do receive their degree in 4 years. And so while we're committed to helping our students graduate on time, we're also committed to helping them be successful after they graduate. We have a nationally ranked career services and professional development office at Southwestern, ranked number 3 in the country, number 1 in Texas. And it's a resource you can really use for all 4 years for anything you can imagine: interview prep, resume, cover letter writing, headshots, personality tests, MCAT, LSAT, all of that they'll be able to help you with. And it's a resource for a lifetime. Even after you graduate, you'll always have access to this. And if you want to make a career change, you absolutely can reach out to this office and they'll help you. So as I wrap up, I just want to emphasize the power of a Southwestern education. You'll have world-class academics, have some cool opportunities for high impact learning experiences, and you'll always have access to our nationally ranked career services office. You'll truly be prepared to soar after you graduate. As I leave you with this quote, I just want to thank you for your time, and I hope to see some of you as pirates in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from Grand Canyon University.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Chris Arzola, and I'm a University Admissions Counselor with Grand Canyon University. We are a private Christian affordable university in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. We have 27,000 campus ground students currently right now. We were ranked 6th best college campus by niche. 75% of our graduates complete their programs in 3.5 years or 4. We do have a hands-on approach to our programs, all of our programs at GCU. We do not have any out-of-state tuition fees. So if you live in Alaska or you live in Florida, there is no out-of-state fees. And we do have a really quick admissions and scholarships decision. A little bit about our majors. We actually have over 200 different majors on our campus. Again, there you see our hands-on learning. We do have a bunch of simulation labs. One that comes into mind right now is our nursing lab. So we do have a nursing simulation lab on campus that our students use in order to get that hands-on learning approach at GCU. We are one of few colleges in the United States that offer a cadaver lab to our undergraduate students. A lot of times, in order to even have access to a cadaver lab, you do have to be in a higher setting of medical field. We do have 9 different enterprises on our campus that are run by our students. So 2 of them are right here, our GCU Hotel, and we also have a GCU Advertising and Ad Agency. So again, building your resume before you leave campus. A little bit about our campus housing. We have over 20 different campus housing options on our campus currently right now. Everything from single, double, and triple occupancy. So obviously it means depending on how many people are living in that space at that time. One thing I want to point out is that you do have restrooms in your dorm. That might sound silly, but some other universities, you might actually have to share a whole restroom with the entire floor, or you might have to share with other people. In this case, your restroom is in your dorm. This is our layout too with our apartments. So this also comes a little bit differently here with a full-size kitchen. A little bit of our eating options, and also you can see our pricing here for our meal plans. We have over 40 different options to eat on campus, including we also do have just a standard cafeteria where you can go in and do all you can eat eating as well. So this is right here is what you can see is our meal plans. A little bit about our campus and what fun things to do on our campus, student life. We have 6 different swimming pools across our entire campus. We do have an underground bowling alley, 4 different gyms that you'll have access to, a bunch of different fitness classes, as you can see here. We have one of the biggest esports arenas in the West Coast currently right now, as you can see down at the bottom left. Optional chapel. We have over 100 different clubs on our campus. We are a closed campus, so we do have 24-hour security on our campus, and we were ranked top 14 safest campus in America. We are an NCAA Division I athletic program. Again, if you're not coming to GCU to play athletics for a Division I program, we do have a bunch of club sports as well here that you can see on the left-hand side. A little bit about our career services. These are the individuals that are going to help our students building resumes, helping out with different interviews, networking practices, etiquette dinners, and we do have tons and tons of job fairs from local companies and national companies that come to GCU to talk with our students. A little bit about our tuition. Our tuition starts off at $8,250 a semester. This has been frozen since 2009, so $16,500 a year is going to be for the tuition. Okay, additional fees include different things like insurance, and also some things such as activity fees. That's what you're going to see here in the additional fees. After GCU fund and scholarships, average tuition is about $8,600 annually. Our room and board starts off at $3,250 a semester. And then also, like we talked about earlier, no out-of-state tuition. How our scholarships are broken down is anybody that gets admitted into GCU starting at a 3.0 does qualify for our academic scholarships. So we do base it on your weighted GPA. So we do use your unweighted GPA from your 9th grade to your 12th grade year to determine whether or not you get into GCU. And then we determine the scholarship opportunities through your weighted GPA. If you're taking an SAT or ACT, there are some incentives. So say you have a 3.0 and you take an SAT and score a 1295 or 1170, GCU will just bump you up into the next room here. So 1295, you would be getting the Provost scholarship instead of the actual Antelope scholarship. The scholarships that you're seeing here are for all 4 years while you are attending GCU. As long as you're admissible, you will be getting scholarships from GCU. We also have an awesome opportunity. It's called Discover GCU. This is for our seniors. So if you get admitted to GCU, we actually will fly you out for free. We'll actually house you, so you'll stay in a dedicated dorm for our Discover GCU students. We'll pay for your meals while you're there. You'll learn more about your program of study. You'll do an awesome tour of the campus, and you'll also be able to learn more about what you're going to study and obviously learn more about the campus. It's a really awesome opportunity. So any student that comes in and is admitted will obviously get the opportunity to come to GCU. That is my time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me tonight, and I will turn it over to Anna. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from St. John's College.
All right, thank you, everyone. So hello, my name is Dwayne Opaisa. I am Assistant Director of Admissions at St. John's College. We are a very small liberal arts college with 2 campuses, one in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the other in Annapolis, Maryland. And so we have 2 campuses, but 1 major. So all of our students are studying the same Great Books program. So a little bit of an introduction to what we do with the Great Books. It's about 200 books that we'll read over the course of 4 years. We read them chronologically over that time. They are all original sources and primary texts. We don't have any lecture-based classes. We don't have any textbooks. And so all of our classes are discussion-based, and we are just talking about these primary sources that we've been reading. We offer 4 years of math. There's 3 years of science in the program, 4 years of language, including ancient Greek your first 2 years and French your latter 2 years. We also do 2 years of music and 4 years of humanities. So you do cover a lot of ground. You do take classes. It's not just kind of a big book club. Some ways it kind of is, but we actually are, you're in a math class every year and having discussions about what, Euclid's geometry or Einstein's relativity. So it's definitely very hands-on discussion-based learning here at St. John's. Both of our campuses are very small and have fewer than 500 students. So the Annapolis campus that you can see here takes up about 2.5 blocks, city blocks of downtown Annapolis. So we are in the historic core of Annapolis. Our campus was founded in 1693, so we are older than the United States. We are the 3rd oldest college in the country. We're right next to the Naval Academy, right against the water. So we do have a boathouse. Students can go out onto the water and try out some activities there. Annapolis is a great little town, very walkable. It's about 10 minutes walk down to the city docks, which is a kind of a fun place to hang out, lots of restaurants around. As you can see here, we have all these red brick buildings, definitely very East Coast colonial architecture. So a lot of our buildings are over 200 years old, so you definitely have a lot of history here among these cobblestones. As I mentioned before, we do have a boathouse on campus, and so rowing crew is a popular activity. Sailing is also very popular. Annapolis is a big sailing town, and so you will see big sailboats out in the docks, but we also have a program where you can learn how to sail. If you've never done that before, we're very happy to show you how. We also have a fun tradition with the Naval Academy every year, the Annapolis Cup. And so this is a croquet match that we play against the Naval Academy. Our students are usually in some sort of themed costume here. I believe it was a 1920s theme. And then the Naval Academy midshipmen are in their dress whites, you can see there. So it's kind of a fun activity. Normally St. John's wins the Annapolis Cup. I think out of the last 40 years, we've won like 35 of those years. Unfortunately, we did not bring the cup back home this year. It is at the Naval Academy, but we are planning to earn that cup back next year. So kind of a fun little tradition that we have. It had been on pause during the pandemic, and so this is our first year back. And so we're excited to continue that tradition. The Santa Fe campus is a little smaller student body-wise than our Annapolis campus, usually between 350 and 400 students. So you're going to have a small living learning community, regardless of the campus you choose. Most of our students do live on campus. And Santa Fe is in the mountains. We are in New Mexico. It is the desert, the high desert. But because we're at over 7,000 feet in elevation, we do get 4 seasons. As you can see, it is green around our campus year round. We're surrounded by evergreen pine trees and other sorts of plants. So it's definitely doesn't always feel like you're in the desert in that way. The campus is larger area-wise than in Annapolis. We don't have a old colonial city right outside our walls. Instead, we were built in 1964 is when the Santa Fe campus opened, and we are up in the hills above the city of Santa Fe. It's about a 10-minute drive into the plaza downtown, so we're not too far away. Definitely still connected to the city in a lot of ways. Sports, intramural sports are definitely popular on both campuses. We do have fencing and archery. Those are particularly popular in Santa Fe. We also do a lot of outdoors activities in Santa Fe. And so you can go hiking. We have several hiking trails that lead from our campus. We take students out into other parts of the Southwest. As I mentioned, we do get those 4 seasons. And so there's a ski summit. Ski Santa Fe is about 10-15 minutes from our campus. So definitely a great opportunity to do that. We also do trips out to Taos and to Utah, Colorado. So a lot of different opportunities to explore the Southwest and the Rocky Mountain region. But really the core of the St. John's experience are these books. As I mentioned, the Great Books program has about 200 books that span 3,000 years of human history, and we read them chronologically over the course of the 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, all students will graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts. You'll be reading the same books as your peers and taking the same classes, but the conversations will be different based on who's in the classroom. Looking at some outcomes here, you have education and library sciences being kind of one of the most popular routes that students go, but I want to note that we have 100% acceptance rate into law school over the last 10 years, so definitely law careers are very popular. Tuition has actually raised a little bit to $36,000, but we've maintained that low rate for a long time, which brings our total cost of attendance about $52,000, which is still lower than tuition at a lot of other private institutions in the US. So if you do have questions about St. John's, I'll put my information in the chat, also where you can meet your admissions counselor. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Arizona.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us to learn more about all of our great schools. My name is Emily Martinez, and I am the admissions recruiter with the University of Arizona. I myself am a regional recruiter. I am based in Chicago, Illinois, and serve the Midwest, but we do have recruiters stationed all across the U.S., as well as some in Arizona, obviously. So we're all happy to be here to help answer your questions about Arizona. To start, University of Arizona was founded in 1885. We were the first university in the state of Arizona, actually founded before Arizona was even a state. Our main campus is located in Tucson, Arizona. We do have a larger student population. We have about 36,000 undergraduate students on our campus, still able to offer a very personal educational experience. Our student to faculty ratio is 15:1, and average class sizes are between 21 and 29 students. We also have a very diverse student body. We have over 40% of our total students coming from out of state. In fact, we have students coming from every single state in the US. We also have students coming from over 120 different countries. Also, over 44% of our total students do identify as diverse. So again, a very good group of students all attending the University of Arizona. So why do so many students choose to attend Arizona? It's because we are a big school with big time opportunities. We have very high rankings and recognition. So when people look at us from the outside, they see all that we have to offer. We have been named a top 10 public school out in the West. We've also been ranked in the top 1% of universities in the entire world. We also are a top 20 public research institution. We are actually a tier 1, premier 1, research 1 institution, which means we are the best of the best when it comes to providing our students with opportunities for hands-on learning through research. Of course, we have other opportunities outside of that, but research is definitely a good way to get experience. Being at a big school, again, more opportunities. We have over we have over 300 different degree programs, so literally just about any program to meet your educational needs. Some of our more popular programs include anything business, anything within our College of Engineering or our College of Education. We're also very strong in the health sciences, medical sciences, nursing, and then as well as our College of Fine Arts. Our dance program is one of the best in the entire country. So from arts to education and everything in between, we have plenty of opportunities to help you succeed. If you are undecided, no pressure. You can be an undecided student coming into Arizona. In fact, that is our second most popular major. We have plenty of resources to help support you figure out what you want to do. And then once you are in your major, help you along to make sure you are on track to graduating. We also have a very active student life. You can imagine with 36,000 students on our campus, there's always something to do. We have over 600 different student clubs and organizations. They range from Greek life to academic focus to social and special interests to student government to culture and arts to athletics and recreation and everything in between. So you're never going to be bored on our campus. There's plenty to do on our campus, but also in the city of Tucson. So the city of Tucson is very much a college town. It has been ranked one of the best college towns in the nation. It has everything that you need as a student. We have your basic amenities, but we also have some of the social entertainment options. So again, always something new to try. Being from the Midwest, I love to talk about the weather. So Tucson is a gorgeous city. It's a yearly average temperature of 83 degrees, over 300 days of sunshine. What's not to like about that? Outdoor recreation is definitely very big in the area. So hiking, biking, camping, climbing are all lots of things you could do, experience while in Arizona or specifically in Tucson. We're also very big for athletics. We are very competitive. We compete in the D1 part of the Pac-12 conference. So University of Arizona in Tucson, you're going to be able to see that our Block A scattered everywhere. Anywhere you go, you're going to see our red, white, and blue color. So really a school where you can get into the school spirit, the school pride, and really get behind that. Living on campus is another great way to get involved. At Arizona, we actually do not have any housing requirements or restrictions. So first year students or any year student can choose to live on or off campus, completely your choice. And if you do choose to live on campus, you also get to choose where. All 23 of our dorms house first year through senior students. So we're all about making your experience your own. So wherever you're most comfortable living is where we want you to be. So if you are interested in applying to Arizona, it is a very simple process. Our application becomes available as early as July 1st of the summer before your senior year. Our evaluation process is looking for some very specific information. We are required by the state of Arizona to ensure that students have completed these requirements by the time they graduate high school. It's also known as the ABOR core courses. So again, we want to make sure you complete these by the time you graduate. We're also going to pull the best grades from these classes only earned your freshman through junior year to calculate your core GPA. It is unweighted on a 4.0 scale. And again, it's only pulling the grades from these classes earned through your junior year. That core GPA determines your admissibility into the university, your select academic program, as well as any scholarship eligibility. So just something to keep in mind when you actually apply to Arizona, this is what we're looking for. We are test optional for general admission, so no ACT or SAT scores are not required. It's completely your choice whether you'd like to submit them. They may be required for merit scholarships. That decision is still pending for future terms, but just to keep in mind for general admission purposes, we do not require those test scores. Merit scholarship consideration is automatic when you apply to the university. So you don't have to take any separate action. When you're reviewed for admission, you're reviewed for that scholarship as well. And that is going to wrap up my time. So I want to make sure that I pass it along to the next school. I will put my contact information as well as our website information in the chat. And I look forward to connecting with you all again soon.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from American University of Paris.
Bonsoir, good evening. My name is Jen Fitzgerald, and I'm the Deputy Director of U.S. Admissions for the American University of Paris. AUP is a private, urban, liberal arts American university that is located in the 7th arrondissement, the same neighborhood as the Eiffel Tower. But at its core, we are a very diverse university of 1,000 undergraduate students from 100 countries. So you could be in an average class size of 15 students from, let's say, 8 countries with all different perspectives, not only based on their research, but also based on the cultures they come from. Our faculty also come from 30 countries, and 70% of the faculty speak 3 or more languages. So we're a truly diverse community across the entire AUP student, faculty, and staff body. We have 26 majors and 39 minors. I'll be skimming through these fairly quickly tonight, but first here we have arts and communications, economics and management, so mainly the business sector, computer science and psychology, so no pre-med or anything medically related, no engineering, but mostly other majors are covered. And of course, history and politics. Now, AUP has a big focus on experiential learning and interdisciplinary education, so many of the classes take students out into the city or other parts of the world to explore. So for example, we have study trips where students travel all over the world with their professor and classmates to experience what they are learning in the classroom in person. Shakespeare in London, psychology in Cairo, and film in the Netherlands are a few of the 45 trips we offer per year. We also have cultural excursions, which are fun trips mainly in France, like a chocolate walk in Paris or visiting Normandy for the weekend. These are examples of places our students have interned and worked over the years, and we have connections to companies not only in Paris, but all over the world, as we have 20,000 alumni in 145 countries. 94% of our students have a job or are in grad school within 1 year of graduation, and 80% find an international element to their career. Like I mentioned before, we are located in the beautiful neighborhood, the 7th arrondissement, which is the same neighborhood as the Eiffel Tower, which is of course to your left. On the right, the Gold Dome, Alto de Invalides, is where Napoleon is buried, and you'll see our open urban campus right in between. We are surrounded by various businesses, cafes, restaurants, apartments, and museums. So we have those 8 buildings woven right into the city, with no more than a 5 or 10-minute walking distance between classes. Although if you were to walk across the furthest points of campus, it's about 15 minutes. So still everything's very condensed. Housing is quite unique compared to most universities, where we still have a housing office that will find and furnish residences for our students, but the type of housing varies. So some units have where the entire complex is filled with AUP. Others, it's a mix of AUP and non-AUP residents, but they all come with their own bathroom and kitchen, so you can cook all of your own meals. Some have roommates, others don't, and the average distance to campus is about 30 minutes. To apply to AUP, you would fill out the common application or apply to AUP directly. And you see listed here all of the application requirements. So the 2 essays, 2 letters of rec, activities list, and your transcripts. 3.3 is the average unweighted GPA, and we are test optional, always have been even before COVID. Here you'll see the cost of tuition plus living equals the total cost of attendance. And we do, of course, offer scholarships. When you apply to AUP, you're considered for merit aid automatically without submitting any other application. But if you'd like to apply for more scholarships upon acceptance, you can fill out FAFSA and the AUP financial aid application to be considered for our merit need combination awards. Students may also take out federal loans, but not federal grants. And we do have a couple special scholarships, such as ones for veterans or IB diploma candidates. Now, we have rolling admissions beginning in mid-November for fall entry. So I would recommend applying for admissions technically whenever you'd like. It is rolling, so it is all year. But if you're looking for next fall, most students would apply in November. And we have an 80% acceptance rate across the board. In February is when you would submit your financial aid application, and in April, begin the visa process and apply for loans. Then May 1st is that confirmation deadline. And over the summer, we help students with housing, course registration, the visa process, and all the other pre-arrival steps. Thank you so much, Merci, for your time. And we also have 5 admissions counselors based in the US, but I'm the California representative. So if you happen to be from a school outside of the West Coast, and you may have another AUP counselor, but it's a pleasure talking to you about AUP tonight. Once more, merci for your time, and we'll pass it on to the next presenter.
Thank you. Lastly, we'll be hearing from Menlo College.
There we go. Good evening, everyone. I see that we have saved the best for last. I'm kidding. It's an honor to be here today, and I love hearing about all of these excellent colleges and universities. My name is Tess Ruick, and I am Director of Admissions Operations at Menlo. We are a residential college located in Atherton, California, close to Palo Alto, San Francisco, and San Jose. I know we may have some Bay Area residents online tonight, so hello to any of our neighbors out there. As you can see, we are located extremely close to some pretty notable companies. I'll be speaking more on our internship and career opportunities in just a moment, but this map gives you a taste of some of the places our students have interned or worked. To start, I'd like to introduce you though to Brenda. Brenda's a recent graduate of Menlo who grew up in Castro Valley from campus. During her time at Menlo, Brenda was part of the organization of the college's first TEDx event. She studied abroad in Sydney, Australia, and she was a member of the Menlo dance team. I'll be dropping little Brenda factoids into each of the following slides as I talk more about what Menlo has to offer. School was never easy for Brenda. She was diagnosed with dyslexia at a young age, and so when she was looking into colleges and found Menlo, what really stood out to her were the resources we provided on campus, such as tutoring and note-taking for all of our classes, and a writing and oral communication center where she could get live feedback on papers and presentations. As we are a small college with about 850 students total, I was also impressed by our small class sizes and that all of her classes would be taught by professors who genuinely seemed to care. There were lots of ways for her to get involved too. Brenda actually emceed the Menlo College Luau one year that's put on annually by our Pacific Islander Club. This slide shows a list of all of our career-focused majors. Brenda studied entrepreneurship at Menlo, and as you can see, we offer programs in business and psychology. Real estate is another unique major for a bachelor's program, and we actually have a Fusion Academy South Bay alum who studied real estate at Menlo and graduated a few years back. His name is Nico. The last I heard, Nico is working for a commercial real estate company called Cushman & Wakefield. We have a strong athletics presence on campus, which adds to campus spirit and camaraderie. As I mentioned before, Brenda was a member of the dance team at Menlo College. Close to half of our student body are student athletes. We compete at the NAIA level and offer 18 varsity sports and 3 co-ed sports seen here. We're excited to begin a new tennis program this fall. Our students are always encouraged to try new things. We require all of our business majors to complete an internship before they graduate. This past summer, 90 Menlo successfully secured opportunities with organizations such as Oracle, Zoom, Ernst & Young, and Deloitte. Other ways students get involved with applicable work experience is through organizations that we partner with or bring to campus. Brenda, for instance, served as a University Innovation Fellow. The University Innovation Fellows program is run through Stanford University. Students who apply and are accepted receive valuable training and are empowered to make differences at their respective colleges. This cohort worked with Menlo faculty and administrators to design, furnish, and open an innovation center on our campus. During lockdown in 2020, however, thanks to her tenacity and the opportunity she was presented with here at Menlo, she has been able to start a few businesses since graduation, and she currently works as a program associate for Plug and Play, which is a company that connects larger corporations to startups and works in corporate innovation. I hope that Brenda's story resonated with you, and I'd love to share more about the application and financial aid process next. College is an investment in your future, and I know financial aid is one of the most important factors when it comes to picking. Luckily, our small size makes us adaptable to your family's financial needs. We offer multiple academic and need-based scholarships and grants to all of our students, and all eligible students will qualify for an automatic $20,000 renewable scholarship upon admission. Top-ranked students and students in California who are Cal Grant eligible may even qualify to attend Menlo College for a $0 out-of-pocket cost. Our recruited student athletes will qualify for athletic scholarships only, but our athletic scholarship offers are very competitive. And we encourage all students to submit the FAFSA beginning October 1st to be considered for financial aid. Regarding the application process, our application is free and you can apply on our website with the Menlo Express app or via the Common Application. We do not require a test score for admission and only need a copy of your unofficial transcripts for preliminary review. You'll see our deadlines here as well. Thank you for your time today. And I encourage you to check out our website and follow us on social media. I'll also post my contact in the chat, along with a link to our virtual tour.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you everyone for sharing. When you go to close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. We also encourage sessions, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/fusion. So thanks again, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening.